On the news at 1, President Tinubu dismisses 2 chief executive officers with a plan to restructuring and reposition critical agencies. Federal Capital Territory inspects schools after resumption. And Nigerian Legion preaches peace ahead of Armed Forces Remembrance Day. Good afternoon and welcome to NTA Channel 5 Abuja News at 1. I am Nguse Philip. The Office of the Executive Vice Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, FCCPC, and the Director General and CEO Bureau of Public Enterprises, BPE, are now vacant. This followed the dismissals of Babatunde Irukera, the former FCCPC CEO, and former BPE DG Alexander Ayola Oko, by President Bola Tinubu. According to the statement, the dismissal is in conformity with plans to restructure and reposition critical agencies of the federal government towards protecting the rights of Nigerian consumers and providing a strong basis for enhanced contributions to the nation's economy by key growth enabling institutions. The 2 dismissed chief executives were directed to hand over to the next most senior officer in their respective agencies, pending the appointment of new chief executive officers. The National Universities Commission (NUC) has refuted news circulating on the social media, some national dailies, and the television stations to the effect that the Commission has just discovered over 100 fake professors in Nigerian universities. NUC says the media reports are fake, untrue, and a figment of the imagination of authors, adding that the happening is at an unsuitable time when the nation is awaiting the outcome of investigation into the fake certificate saga from universities in some neighboring countries. The Commission therefore advises government officials at all levels, members of the universities community, international community, and the public to please disregard these items of fake and stale news which have long been laid to rest in 2019. With few days to the January 15 commemoration of the Armed Forces Remembrance Day, the national chairman of the Nigerian Legion, Major General Abdulmalik Jibril, has urged Nigerians not to forget the sacrifices made by members of the Nigerian Armed Forces in keeping peace in the nation. While briefing newsmen in Abuja, Major General Jibril charged citizens to desist from activities that will lead to disunity or unrest in the country. Major General Jibril acknowledged that funding remains a major problem in handling welfare of Nigerian veterans. And
this emblem that you see that we urge people to donate and wear is just the little one can do to show appreciation and sympathy. And it is an encouragement for our sons and daughters that are still out there, that even when they are not there, they are not going to be forgotten. The Nigerian region has not even gotten the take-off grant that is necessary for any organization that is established by government to see to its fruition, to create office environment. The federal government should kindly oblige the provision of that act and include the Nigerian Legion under the budgetary allocation annually so that we can be able to impact on the lives of the dependent of the fallen heroes.
in view of the prevailing circumstances of insecurity and attacks in some communities in the country, Harmony Corps of Nigeria has appealed to the government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the National Assembly to give the corps the necessary support to push the gospel of community peace building and enlightenment. Founder and Commandant General, Harmony Corps of Nigeria, Elizabeth Omini stated this during a media interaction. Mohammed Awalu reports.
Citing incidences of breach of communal peace in some parts of the country in recent times, the Harmony Corps of Nigeria says the job of ensuring peaceful coexistence should not be left for government alone, as there is need for organizations like the Harmony Corps of Nigeria to complement when given the necessary backing.
We are all waiting for the government to give us the takeoff. We are all ready to see that we take off our activity of sensitization, advocacy, preaching the gospel of peace, peaceful coexistence. Harmony Corps has come telling Nigerians that we should accept one another. We should accommodate one another.
The Corps notes that a lot can be achieved with organizations such as theirs, which are willing to use their reach and strategy to enlighten youth to not only shun violence and crimes, but rather embrace peace and harmony, which are ingredients for social cohesion.
A teeming youth that are supposed to be hovering around the street, they will know that yes, they have a family they belong to, and that is Harmony Corps of Nigeria. Our three cardinal points is peace building, partnership, and education.
We want harmony. We want harmony in Nigeria.
The group expressed its readiness to sacrifice more for the country when fully acknowledged to operate. Muhammad Awalu, NTA News.
Minister of Foreign Affairs Yusuf Tuga has assured intending pilgrims of improved services in this year's Hajj arrangements. The Foreign Affairs Minister stated this as Nigeria and Saudi Arabia ratified the agreement for the 2024 Hajj operations in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. Garba Natala reports.
The signing took place on the sidelines of the third series of Hajj and Umrah conference and exhibition in Jeddah. Minister of Foreign Affairs Yusuf Tuga and Saudi's Minister of Hajj and Umrah Tawfiq bin Fawzan Al Rabi'a signed agreements for this year's Hajj and Umrah, also known as Lasa Hajj. Culminating from this bilateral meeting includes new guidelines of operations for 2024 pre-Hajj, Hajj, and Umrah activities. Other issues for further attention includes the airlifting of pilgrims, having an endorsed airline, accommodation, and feeding of pilgrims.
We're going to see, inshallah, remarkable improvements with regards to flights, with regards to timing and punctuality, like I said. And we have a brand new chairman of the National Hajj Commission.
School administrators are henceforth to be held responsible. School administrators are henceforth to be held responsible for low turnout of students in public schools. FCTA Secretary for Education Dan Lamin Yahayo stated this when he led the management team to inspect some schools after resumption. Onozu Yakubu has details.
Impressed with the turnout of students in schools visited, the Secretary for Education, Dalami Hayu, sounds a note of warning to school administrators on low turnout of students in their schools, saying that the development translates to failure on the part of the school authority.
When we discover a school whereby teachers are ready while the students are not present, or the attendance of the students are very poor, definitely we are going to change the administration of the school. We are going to bring someone capable that can lead.
The Secretary further discloses that the sum of 13.1 billion naira has been earmarked for renovations, construction, and provision of furniture for schools in the FCT. These steps, he adds, is a good omen for the education system in the territory.
When all this data, all the necessary information gathered, we are going to transfer it to the Honorable Minister. And I'm sure one of his key priority areas is education. And this education is going to be given special consideration. That's why in 2023 budget, he approved 13.1 billion naira to spend on renovation, construction, and provision of chairs or furniture for schools in FCT. So this is encouraged.
The schools visited are Government Science and Technical College Area 3, Government Secondary School Tudunwada, and Junior Secondary School Wuse Zone 6, as well as Gliston Group of Schools in Jahi, Abuja. Onoze Yakubu, NTA News.
You are watching the 1 p.m. news on NTA Channel 5 Abuja. The Party Society of Nigeria enjoins Muslim faithful on proper conduct in accordance to Islamic injunctions. This and more in just a moment.
Good evening. Glad to have you join us.
Thanks for joining us on Weekly News Wrap.
Thank you very much for having me.
And it is on that note we welcome you to today's edition of the program.
We celebrate creativity, lasting impressions.
There's no book stating that this is the role for men.
On the news.
On the news at 7.
Jama'a barkamu da wannan
The Native Station, NTA Channel 5, Abuja.
Would say have a lovely day.
Thanks for being there. A life worthy of living is a life of glorification and worship of Almighty Allah, who has enjoined mankind in the scripture to ask Him for bounties and mercy. This description captures the moments and preoccupation of worshippers at this week's Nasfat Islamic Center, Gudu, special As-Salat prayer session. Religious correspondent Abdullahi Ajia has more.
With a strong conviction in the assurances of the glorious Quran as complete guidance and manual for man, this special As-Salat prayer was targeted at nation building in obedience to Allah's injunction on believers to pray for their nation.
It is one of our key cardinal points to pray for the nation. When you say pray for the nation, indirectly you are praying for yourself. There is no individual that is a nation. When the nation is good, then you are good. So we are praying for the leadership of the nation, and Islam said, pray for your leader. Because God has made them the leader to direct you. If they direct you well, then it will be well for you.
According to the statement of Muhammad, which says, Hubbul watani min al-iman, to love, to have love for your nation, for your society, for your home, is part of faith that one have in Allah. So if the government is blessed, so the masses also will be blessed by Allah through the prayer. That's why you see us having this kind of prayer for the nation. As New Year, we want good things, so to establish by God, so underneath of the supervision of this present government.
Of course, these men and women, including the youths and children, through the recitation of the glorious Quran, glorification of Allah, and salutations upon Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, are rededicating themselves on behalf of their country for Allah's divine intervention on the myriads of socio-economic challenges.
The essence of this is just for the general progress of Nigeria.
We are asking the Almighty Allah to direct the nation, to direct everybody. It's not
the essence of the prayer is to create peace. For Almighty Allah to give us peace in Nigeria.
We are making sure that we are organizing a series of programs to make sure that youth, they are being obeyed with the conjunction of Allah.
The worshippers who are using the climax of a 7-month-long intense spirituality pray for President Bola Tinubu to succeed in his renewed hope agenda promised to Nigerians. In Abuja, Abdullahi Ajia, NTA News.
Now moving to culture. Youth participation in promoting cultural ethics and values is key in saving culture from erosion. That was the submission of stakeholders during the 9th edition of Gwandara Youth Carnival in Kokona, Nasarawa State. Lesson Damfulani reports.
The rich cultural heritage of Gwandara Nation was displayed to the admiration of spectators who watched with keen interest. With the theme Greatness and Diversity, the 9th edition of the Gwandara Youth Carnival was not just an avenue to showcase culture, but also an admonition for the youths as future leaders to be peace ambassadors, shun all forms of social vices and engage in meaningful venture for socio-economic growth of Nigeria.
Understand that the culture is gradually fading, and now that the youth are ready to take it to the next level, that is why we're all here to support them.
We, the stakeholder, we should put all our hand on decks and ensure that we used to support them to continue with this gesture.
It's an exciting day, really very exciting, very colorful, and very uplifting to see the very rich culture of the Gwandara people today being displayed.
The message I passed across in Hausa was about unity. It was about encouraging the youth, in taking the part of education. Is it about shunning, act that is capable of ruining their lives?
Chairman Planning Committee of the Carnival, Victor Akao, says it is a unifying factor among Gwandara youths, irrespective of religion or political affiliation.
Young persons who have a versatile idea about cultural heritage will feel that it is high time for us to showcase the Gwandara cultural heritage to the wider world. Awards
of excellence were presented to some personalities for outstanding performance. From Kokona local government area of Nasarawa State, Blessing Damfulani, NTA News.
If you are carried away by the modernity and physical development of Abuja, thinking about the extinction of the traditional and cultural heritage of the original inhabitants in the near future, then you are mistaken, as the Gbagi people of Dusepe rekindled their unalloyed commitment to their ancestral customs and traditions. This was exhibited through their annual cultural carnival, which coincides with the 7th anniversary of the traditional ruler, Chief James Shawo, on the throne. Abdullahi Ajia got us highlights and moments of the full cultural celebrations.
The African Traditional Society has continued to survive the erosion and threats of modernization for a very long time. And for the Gbagi-speaking people of Dusekbe, their umbilical cultural tie is forever, as the expression of their identity gives them the pride to stamp their authority of ancestral lineage and heritage, especially in the face of eroding cultural norms and values. The annual cultural carnival at its 7th year became a unique rallying point for sons and daughters of Dusei.
I introduced it, and the reason of introducing it was because I discovered that gradually the culture of Gbagi people is eroding, and people are embracing the British culture in addition to Hausa culture. So that I thought of it, I said, no, if we do not do something about it, a day is coming that Gbagi nation, Gbagi tribe, will go on extinct.
The 2023 edition was a swell time for show of the real culture that the people cherish. In a mix of younger and older generations, with the intent to transmit the valued culture, custodians of the people's tradition did not leave anything out.
We come out, we file out in our numbers to celebrate our culture, to celebrate our aborigine. This is where our forefathers were born, and we are still here.
part and parcel of the FCT, contributing our quota to the development of this nation. My advice to the youth: take culture seriously.
The more these events are being done, which we showcase our cultural values, the more the younger ones who are upcoming, they get to know about these cultural values. That way we can preserve our culture.
We want to show to people that we have a culture.
That our grandmother has dead and left. We are training them now to know our culture.
We are doing this thing to show the culture of our tribe, that we are guided by tribe.
With the intent well defined, the day also provides an opportunity to realign and reassess communal living and peaceful coexistence. In Abuja, Abdullah Hajia, NTA News.
And on the AFCON countdown today, let's join sports